comes to knowing what things are worth, I'm pretty good when it comes to clothing. Anything else? Yeah, not so much. But that's why Gary Schrum from Heritage Auctions is here. Welcome, Gary.
Hello there.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks for having me.
I was telling you in the break, I love y'all's. Every year y'all do a jewelry and handbag preview that is literally, I'm like a kid in a candy store. You've got these incredible handbags and this incredible vintage
Amazing
jewelry.
Stuff every Christmas.
And that's going on. They are having that preview this weekend at this local
Well, we're having another preview this week. Nothing to do with the Christmas preview. This is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at our Slocum address.
Okay, now tell our viewers a little bit about Heritage Auctions and what y'all do exactly here in Dallas.
Well, we're an auction house that auctions off many different rarities. They could be rare coins, could be rare comics,
rare handbags,
sports memorabilia, because we've done some work with you all.
And my department, rare memorabilia from music and the movies.
And people don't know, but they might have some of this actually laying around their house that they don't even know what it's valued at.
It happens all the time. I get phone calls every day. Well, somebody said, hey, I found this, and is it worth anything? And I like to give people a lot of surprises a lot of times.
Like my mom took a handful of jewelry in there and they were like, oh my gosh, yes, this.
Right.
So,
and then they say yard sales are like a huge place and resource to find some of these items.
Well, yeah,
correct?
lots of times people just clean out their garage and something's been stuck in there for 30 years and they don't even think about it. They open up the box, somebody comes up, how much is that? Oh, it's $1.
maybe an old Hall of Fame card with Mr. Emmett Smith on it is worth a little something.
If so, I'm going to collect a lot of them and bring them over to you and see what they're worth, right?
So
tell us what you
I was about to say, tell us about what you brought today.
Yeah.
Well, what we got coming up on our next auction is the third part of our Led Zeppelin pieces.
Okay.
The management attorney for Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix passed a few years ago. His wife came to us and says, I've got all this stuff. Please auction it off. It's going to go to his favorite charities.
Do I see pill bottles sitting here?
You do see pill bottles.
People are actually going to bid on pill bottles that belonged to someone famous?
Oh my gosh, well, it's Elvis
Presley.
That's
Exactly.
right. Oh my, and it's Valium.
goodness.
And it's
Valium. So how much would something like this go for?
Well, believe it or not, we've had several pill bottles in past auctions, and they were like tetracycline.
And how much do these typically go for?
$5,000 to $7,000.
Oh my goodness. So what type of person would purchase this kind of item?
Well, there's
Somebody
a
with
lot
a
of
drug
Elvis
problem?
collectors that collects everything to do with Elvis. Whether he touched it, owned it, or it had something directly to do with his career. It may be an autograph, it may be a rare record, it may be a concert poster, it may be a shirt that he wore.
And
We
what's
had
the
his
date on
Army
these?
shirt in the last auction. It went for $27,000.
Now let me ask you this, because this has been an issue in the marketplace. How do you know that that is really that person's item? How do you authenticate it?
We take a lot of time to go back and do a trail and find out. It may be a paper trail, it may come from a family member. Well, obviously with a prescription bottle, you've got it right in front of you.
Right.
So tell us about this piece. You were telling us about this during the break. This is the Beatles.
This is a Beatles autograph.
I'm scared to touch it. I'm afraid it's going to like
We just sold a
depreciate.
Sgt. Pepper autograph in our last auction 2 weeks ago, and it broke world's record at $290,500.
Wow.
That's the most anybody's ever paid for a Beatle autograph, most ever paid for an album.
But this is from the first Ed Sullivan show, correct?
Exactly. That night, the first appearance in February 1964, Beatles were all in this room together. With Ed Sullivan signed it up here, Brian Epstein, the manager, signed it, all the Beatles, the road manager signed it, and they all signed it to Fred. Fred was the magician that was in the show, but it was, if you remember, I've seen old clips of Ed Sullivan. You're much too young to remember the show.
But I've seen the clips.
He would have little segments from overseas that he'd put on, and this magician was from overseas. The Beatles knew him.
So how much do you think this item will go for? What are y'all hoping it'll go for?
I'm hoping it'll go somewhere to around 60 to 100,000.
Gosh, amazing. What else do you have here that you want to show us?
Here we have some unreleased Beatles negatives, which right now we're still researching it. We believe it's from a concert in Paris.
Okay.
Here we have one of only 2 ever pressed of the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed on multicolored vinyl, which is,
And then down here?
Then we have Houdini's Magic membership cards, which you might want to take a look at
wow.
here.
Beautiful. I'll put it here.
From 1918 and 1911.
This is incredible. And people can see all this in the preview. This one's happening in July, all the memorabilia.
This will happen in July. We'll have a preview right before it. We'll send out catalogs and come on the website site.
Website. Awesome. Well, thank you for being
HA.com.
here. Awesome. Okay, you guys, you can see everything that Heritage has up for auction by going to their website, like he just says. It's h/a.com.